All right, to watch this video for Thursday, March 15th. Another red day in the SPY. We're getting down in that area, the 8-day and the 20-day area. The gap between them is what I call the buy zone. It's generally a place where a strong stock kind of finds support. Now, this is a very choppy market because of the volatility unwind, or the short volatility unwind that happened back here. So it's pretty choppy, but overall, I expected a pullback after this big move, and we're getting that now. And I'm telling you what, we're seeing some crazy moves. So to me, the market is back, small caps are back, and it maybe time to put our foot on the gas a little bit and maybe trade a little bigger when we have a clean setup. I didn't have a big day today. I did have some decent trades. There's some of my results from today. Nothing huge, but still, everyone's got a story, right? Everyone's got an RKDA story. Like, you know what? I'm going to digress a little bit and show you this. I mean, everybody in chat, everybody on Twitter's got an RKDA story. I had I think it was, I'd have to go to pre-market now. I think it was a $13.95 bid when it broke through 14 in pre-market. You know what? I'm going to add that on there just so I know real quick, because I hate to, oh, it's already got pre-market on there. I hate to misspeak. Okay, yeah. So Big Al in our chat room posted news on this, and I knew it was a recent runner, and we already had it on watch, and it gets this pop, and then it pops through 14, and I had a bid at $13.95, and you can't really see it on this candle. After it broke through 14, I thought, you know what, I'm looking for a whole number flush, and I had a bid at $13.95, and it went up and started to come back down, and I thought, I'm not a big fan of pre-market trading. Anyway, pulled my bid, and it went down below that, so I would have gotten filled at $13.95 anyway. Would I have held it for this? No. Would have made some money in it. Even if I'd have made a couple thousand, I still would have felt like an idiot by the end of the day because the thing went to 55. The point being, we're seeing some crazy, crazy moves. Look at that thing. And I'm going to talk about a couple sympathy plays today, but as I talk here, you'll see I'll talk about after hours stuff that's going on too. So let me slide this over real quick. Check the description down below. We've got a link to all of our free webinars, and we get really good feedback on our free webinars, so go check them out, because it's some pretty good content, some specials down there in the description to the video, as well as that free webinar link. So back to the SPY, and it's just a 2-3 day pullback. The volume's not scary. There's some chaos in Washington that I think freaks the market out a little bit. Great Britain and Russia having words. So, I mean, there are certainly always external factors that could affect the market. But overall, I'm seeing some really nice moves. And, again, going to put the foot on the gas a little bit. TROV had this breakout on big volume yesterday. I think today kind of a quiet inside day. So I still think this has a chance to rip higher. So that one goes on watch. YTEN was a sympathy play to RKDA. Closed very strong in after hours. Actually went higher for a while, but now it's trading about flat in after hours. But that's a really nice move. Again, extended, but this thing can move at times, so we're gonna, we're gonna watch it. Maybe a red to green, something like that. Same deal with Seed. Also, sympathy play to RKDA had a huge move today. I pointed out the flag when Seed. I got to get after hours off here now because it just messes me up. Pointed out the flag in Seed when it was flagging like this and started to come up. I said, hey, possible flag break here, but I didn't give a trigger and stop. It did break the flag, and then ended up closing at its highs. It's extended, but we'll see. I'd like to see a couple days pullback in these, and then we might get some really nice trades, but we'll see, right? LINU, a little bit of an extra volume pop, breaking out of a tight range. This thing does have big pops at times. That's one of the, see these big moves here? That's one of the things I look for on a chart to decide whether or not it deserves to be on the watch list, and you definitely have some big moves in LINU. PTI, oh man, this is a heartbreaker here. I made a little bit of money in it today, but in after hours they came out with news, and I can't even show you. I turned after hours off. Anyway, it meandered around 680 for a while, and I thought to myself, over 685 in after hours, this might get through 7 and take out this high and this high. Anyway, as I'm talking, it's trading at 810 right now in after hours. I'm sitting there watching it trading in the 680s. And there seemed to be a muted response to the news, like nobody cared. I look away, and then someone says, hey, PTI is going, right? So I was really ready to trade that in after hours. Kind of having one of those short periods where I always seem to be stalking something, and then I look away and it moves without me. It's kind of aggravating, but again, I'm feel very positive about what I'm seeing in the market. So PTI is just going to be a gapper tomorrow. We're going to watch and see if it gives a low risk setup. It certainly extended. SMRT came out with earnings after hours. It had a nice run pre-earnings, then rolled over. And as I'm talking, it's trading at $1.12. So, gapping above this run and then the pullback, it's kind of interesting. It certainly has a bunch of supply, though, right here in the $1.20 area. So I'm not in love with it, but we'll see. CHFS, another aggravating scenario. I really like this chart, right? This was on the video last night. Said I really liked it over 4. And you can see, hey, it went over 4. Now let's go to the intraday. Didn't do anything all day until the last 10 minutes, right? Then it takes out 4, pulls back, and I didn't trade it because it was too late in the day. Well, as I'm talking, it's trading at 442 in after hours. So this is what I mean by they're really starting to move these low price, low floaters. Hopefully it won't be a theme that they only move in after hours. But this, I like the chart without that knowledge, right? Without the knowledge of the after hours. I like the chart over 4 tomorrow or something like that. Now it's going to probably be, assuming it holds up, it's going to be a gap play. And we'll see if we get a low risk setup as a gap play. All right, so that's CHFS. Icon, another one gapping in after hours, trading at $1.51 right now. They had earnings, so small gap up. We'll see how it does in the morning, see if it gives us a setup. XTNT, let me pan out a little bit here. So you had this big pop here, took you to 8, kind of meandered, flagged, and then today ripped higher, ripped through 8, went to almost 9 before settling in at 820. Absolutely worth watching for red to green tomorrow. NETE, really nice move for three days after the gap up. A couple days lower on declining volume. Pretty good setup for a turn back tomorrow. We'll see. See if it gives a clean, low-risk setup. Pixie, just another red day, but a nice narrow range. This goes on bounce watch for tomorrow. No trades in it today. NSC, I like to put some stocks on every list. I like a couple bounce plays that, in my opinion, are maybe ahead of themselves in the short term to the downside, and I kind of think you had that with NSC today. Here's the intraday, so it really took off to the downside late in the day. I was actually looking for a trade under 136, but then we ran out of time. It did get to 135.90. For a while I had a bid, but I pulled it because it got late in the day, and that's because it had intraday shape. It had come a long way to take out these lows for 136.11 from earlier in the month. Usually when you get a long candle to take out a very clearly defined recent low on the chart, and you're ahead of yourself on an intraday, I always look below this candle for a turn. And it's not a great example here, but again, look what happens when it breaks 136. It ends up, going up 60, 70 cents after that. So I didn't trade it because it was late in the day. But anyway, watching that one for a bounce because it did make a big move down to support. If it sells off again tomorrow, like first thing in the morning, keep an eye on this 200-day. That's another place I'll look for a bounce. Couple more. CNAT, C-N-A-T, had a huge move back here from like 5.5 to almost 8. Now we're 4 days lower, almost hit the 20-day today. Pretty good setup for a bounce play tomorrow. And then lastly, LX, kind of the same scenario. Really nice run, couple days lower on declining volume, getting close to that buy zone we talk about. That one goes on bounce watch as well. Man, that's already more than I'm comfortable watching. We'll have some gappers added to the list in the pre-market as well. So I'm going to leave it at that. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.